Idea number 5, perhaps the most controversial of all, start coaching and stop therapizing. For many therapists, they really only see one way to help people, and that is to use their skills and their degrees and their license to diagnose and treat mentally ill individuals. But you have a degree and you have skills in problem solving, and people who see coaches have as many profound outcomes as those who see therapists. But coaching is not the same thing as therapy. I used to be a substance abuse counselor, but in private practice, actively using alcoholics and drug addicts are both unreliable and holes in your appointment book for missed sessions cost you money, and working with drug addicts and alcoholics can actually be high risk in an individual office session. Now I don't diagnose and treat substance abuse as a counselor, but every week I do help people quit smoking using those same skill sets. Just recently, I worked with a grandmother. She was 62. She actually had a diagnosis of leukemia, and she came to see me for smoking cessation. She was actually on her way to Houston for treatment at MD Anderson Cancer Center, and she wanted to quit smoking before she began her treatment. And the reason why was simple. She had one grandchild who was 2 years of age, and she didn't know if she had 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, or 20 years left to live. But she did know that if she was going to make it through the treatment, and if she was going to recover, she was going to do that in part because she succeeded at smoking cessation. And she also knew that if the outcome of the cancer treatment was not successful and she were to die from her cancer, she knew that, well, the time that she had remaining would be enhanced by no longer being dependent on cigarettes, which would increase the quality of that relationship with her grandchild. It was wonderful to work with her and help her experience success. As a marriage and family therapist, I used to believe it was my job to get Bob and Bertha to stop fighting and to start loving again. So week after week, I used to help dysfunctional couples try to rekindle a spark among the chaos. Sometimes insurance would even pay me part of the fee I charged, but I don't do that anymore. Now I use my skills as a marriage and family therapist to help excellent couples achieve greatness. It's the same skill set, but nobody's fighting in my office. I worked with a couple who, she was 58, he was 62. And by all measures, they had been successful in life. They had been married since they were late teenagers, early 20s. They had raised 3 children who had graduated from college, who had become leaders in their community. They had several grandchildren who they loved and enjoyed spending time with. And over the last 40 years, they had built a business together, a dry cleaning business. And now at 60-ish, they were cashing out. They were selling for several $1 million. And they came to me for coaching, not because anything was wrong, but because everything was right. And they were looking for expert guidance to help them enter the next phase of life where they had an opportunity to give back to the community, where they had an opportunity to enhance their own adult children's lives as well as that of their grandchildren, and an opportunity to continue modeling success for others. By the way, they paid my full fee for working with them, and I really enjoyed working with them, and it was meaningful work for them. Does the idea of a new model where you use your existing skills to work with a new type of client, one that most therapists never even think about working with, does that appeal to you? These clients pay up front. They don't request third-party reimbursement. These clients are highly motivated and perfect candidates in the private practice setting. At the Successful Therapist Network, we work on a daily basis to help therapists succeed with a coaching model, which is often a financially more rewarding model for both clients and for therapists.